An EMP hits. Phones die, cars stop. The power grid? Gone. Modern life? Wiped in seconds. Most people wouldn't last a week, but some preppers? They'd survive. But while the world panics, a few smart preppers already know the secret. Survival doesn't depend on what you own. It depends on what still works when everything else fails. This isn't science fiction. It's a real-world threat the government has openly warned about for years. A single high-altitude blast could cripple the grid and send entire cities into chaos overnight. That's why today, we're diving into the 12 EMP-proof items you need to stock up on now. Gear that'll still function when the lights never come back on. This is the stuff that could be the difference between surviving and becoming another statistic. Let's get into it. Number 1, the hand crank radio. Silence falls. The world goes dark, but one small device could be your voice in the chaos. When the grid fries and the silence hits harder than the explosion itself, this little box becomes your lifeline. An emergency radio doesn't need the grid, solar panels, or Wi-Fi. Just a few turns of your wrist and boom, you're back in the loop. Why it matters. After an EMP, information is power. You won't know where the danger zones are, which areas are safe, or if help is on the move. A crank radio with no AA and shortwave bands bridges that gap between isolation and awareness. Most models come with a built-in flashlight and a USB port to trickle charge small devices you've protected. Price punchline: $30 to $60 for a crank radio. That's cheaper than a night out and might save your life. Storage tip: don't be an idiot. This is electronic. Keep it in a Faraday cage or wrap it in multiple layers of aluminum foil inside a metal ammo box lined with cardboard. That shields it from the pulse. Trust me, when everyone else is panicking in silence, you'll be the one hearing the truth. Number 2, manual hand tools. Your fancy drill? Useless. But old school tools? The difference between shelter and chaos. When the grid goes down, your $300 power drill turns into an expensive paperweight. The truth is, in a world where power is gone for good, the tools you can't lose are the ones your grandpa used. A forged hammer, an axe, a good handsaw, a set of wrenches. Why it matters. In a post-EMP world, you will have to repair, rebuild, and fortify everything by hand. These tools let you cut firewood for heat, board up a window for security, or fix your other gear. They don't need to be charged. They never run out of batteries. Price punchline: you can build a solid hand tool arsenal for $100 to $150 if you shop smart. But heads up, tool steel prices have climbed over 12% last year, and those numbers are only going up. When the grid goes down, you won't be able to buy them at all. $100 to $150 for a solid set. That's less than a weekend of takeout, but infinitely more useful when the grid dies. Number 3, the manual water filter. Rivers, rain, lakes. Life flows through them. But can you drink safely when taps fail? Here's a fact. You can survive weeks without food, but only 3 days without clean water. When the taps stop running, finding water that won't kill you becomes priority number 1. That's where a manual water filter earns its place as survival royalty. Why it matters. Your electric purifier and UV sterilizer are toast, but mechanical filters like a Sawyer squeeze or a big Berkey system use physical membranes. No electronics, no failure points. They strip out the bacteria, parasites, and other junk straight from rivers, lakes, or rain barrels. You drink. You live. It's that simple. Water filters are $40 to $120 depending on brand. Pricier than a fancy coffee, but cheaper than dying of contaminated water. Storage tip: keep the filter dry until first use. Once you've used it, always backflush and let it air dry completely before storing it again to prevent mold and bacteria from growing inside. Number 4. The analog compass and maps. The blue dot is gone. Your GPS is dead. Will you wander lost or find your way? When GPS dies, your smartphone dies with it. That little blue dot is gone forever. That's why a reliable analog compass isn't just a novelty, it's a critical survival tool. $15 to $50 for a compass. Maps, $5 to $20. Basically, pocket change to avoid wandering like a zombie. Why it matters. Knowing how to use a compass with a physical map means you can navigate to your bug-out location, find resources, or take back roads to avoid trouble. Everyone else will be lost, wandering in circles. You'll be moving with purpose. A simple base plate or lensatic compass always points north. No satellites, no batteries, no problem. Use. Get detailed topographical maps of your local area, county, and region. Make sure they're printed on waterproof paper or laminate them yourself. A map you can't read in the rain is useless. Number 5. The mechanical wristwatch. Darkness stretches endlessly. How long until danger strikes? Only a clock can tell. When an EMP hits, anything digital becomes dead weight. Your smartwatch? Fancy paperweight. But a mechanical wristwatch? That's old school survival tech at its finest. It doesn't need charging, satellites, or software updates. Just a few twists of the crown, and it keeps ticking through the chaos. Why it matters. Timekeeping is survival. You need to coordinate guard shifts, track remaining daylight, or meet up for radio check-ins. Without a working clock, you're just guessing. And guessing gets people hurt. Automatic and manual wind watches from brands like Seiko, Orient, or Timex are built tough and run without a single battery. Price punchline. A solid field-ready mechanical watch can run you $60 to $150. But good luck finding one for that price soon. Demand from preppers has prices jumping, and they're not coming down. But if you find one, $60 to $150. Cheaper than a smartwatch and won't betray you when the lights go out. Pause for a second. Imagine the grid is down, your phone is dead, the world is silent. Do you have what it takes to survive? If you're missing any of these items, or just want to make sure you're truly prepared, hit that subscribe button now. Because when chaos hits, every second counts. Now back to the list. Number 6, the propane or kerosene stove. Hunger bites, your kitchen is dead. Fire is your lifeline. When the power grid dies, your kitchen dies with it. Your microwave, oven, and air fryer are all useless bricks. But a simple propane or kerosene stove, that's old school independence. It doesn't care if the lights are out. As long as you have fuel, you have fire. $25 to $100. Less than a pizza delivery, but can cook actual meals for weeks without electricity. Why it matters. You need a way to cook food, boil water for purification, and maybe even provide some heat without flipping a switch. These stoves run clean and hot, making them perfect for survival cooking. Storage tip. Kerosene stores longer than gasoline, but it's not forever. You need to rotate your fuel every 12 to 18 months. Add a fuel stabilizer to keep it fresh, and store all fuels in a cool, dry area away from your house. Number 7, oil lamps and candles. Night swallows everything. Total darkness. Can you see or are you blind? When the grid dies and total darkness falls, you need more than your phone's flashlight, which is dead anyway. Oil lamps and candles aren't just for ambiance. They're for survival. Why they matter, they work when nothing else does. They provide light to work, cook, or read by. A lit room is a huge morale booster and makes your home look occupied and less of a target. A good oil lamp, like an Aladdin or a Dietz, can throw off a surprising amount of heat too. They are 100% EMP proof. Price punchline. You can stock up on candles for cheap. A good kerosene lamp will run you $15 to $40. Stockpile wicks and fuel. It's a small price to pay to own the night. A few bucks to keep the darkness from eating your sanity. Number 8. First aid and medical supplies. One cut, one infection. In a dead world, it could be your last mistake. In a world without 9.1.1, hospitals or pharmacies, a small cut can become a death sentence. An infection can kill you. This is why a massive stock of medical supplies is non-negotiable. $50 to $150 for a good kit. Cheaper than a single ER visit, and infinitely more useful when hospitals don't exist. Why it matters. You are the first responder now. Bandages, gauze, tourniquets, chest seals, and antiseptic wipes have no electronics. Their effectiveness is based on chemistry and physics. You need to be able to stop bleeding, clean wounds, and splint breaks. Stock up on over-the-counter meds, pain relievers, anti-diarrhea pills, and allergy meds. More importantly, get a good medical guide like Where There Is No Doctor, and actually read it. The best kit in the world is useless if you don't know how to use it. Number 9. Cash and silver coins. Banks offline. Credit cards useless. Only one thing holds value now. When the grid collapses, banks go dark, ATMs are dead, and your credit card is just a piece of plastic. Your crypto? Trapped in a digital graveyard. The only money that will matter is the money you can hold in your hand. Hard cash? Literally any small bills you've got lying around. Silver coins, $20 to $50 each, depending on size. Buy now. Thank yourself later. Why it matters. In the immediate aftermath, hard cash will be king for desperate trades. Keep a stash of small bills, 5s, 10s, and 20s. Nobody will be making change for 100. For the long term, silver coins have been recognized as real money for thousands of years. They're tangible, they're universally valued, and they're the one thing you can always count on when digital currency fails. Number 10. Cast iron cookware. You need to cook. The grid is dead. Your pans must survive the fire. Your fancy non-stick pans are delicate. Their coatings will fail over an open fire. In the post-EMP world, you'll be cooking over wood stoves, fireplaces, or campfires. That's where cast iron becomes the king of the kitchen. $20 to $60 for a skillet, $50 to $100 for a Dutch oven. Pricier than a frying pan from Walmart, but this one laughs in the face of fire. Why it matters? It's just a heavy, indestructible piece of metal. You can stick a cast iron skillet or Dutch oven directly into the coals of a fire, and it won't warp. It holds heat like nothing else, allowing you to fry, bake, and stew. A Dutch oven with a flat lid lets you pile coals on top and bake bread. With a little care, it gets better with age and will outlive you. This is the definition of a buy-it-for-life tool. Number 11. Two-way ham radios protected. Silence everywhere, except for one voice breaking through the darkness. When cell towers go flatline, the only voices you'll hear are the ones coming through a ham or CB radio. And trust me, when silence takes over, hearing any voice becomes priceless. $30 to $150 depending on brand. Less than a gaming console, but can talk to people hundreds of miles away. Yeah, slightly more useful. Why it matters. A protected analog ham radio lets you stay in contact with other survivors, coordinate plans, or pick up emergency broadcasts from hundreds of miles away. In a world gone dark, this is how you build an intelligence network. Digital walkie-talkies will get cooked. You need simple analog models. Use brands like Baofeng, Yaesu, or Midland are reliable. And just like your emergency radio, you must store them in a Faraday cage, wrap them in foil, put them in a metal ammo box lined with cardboard. Store spare batteries and antennas the same way. Also, practice using it now, not later. Number 12, the Faraday Cage. All your electronics are useless, unless you shield them from the pulse itself. This isn't just one item. It's the technology that saves your other electronics. A Faraday cage protects sensitive electronics from the EMP itself. You can buy pre-made EMP shield bags, or you can build your own. $20 to $50 for a DIY setup. Cheaper than insurance, and infinitely more fun when the grid goes down. Why it matters? A solar charger, a ham radio, a small laptop with stored information, all useless unless they're shielded. The pulse has to be blocked. A metal ammo box, a galvanized steel trash can, or even just multiple layers of heavy-duty aluminum foil can work, as long as the electronics inside are insulated and don't touch the conductive layer. Line your metal container with cardboard or foam. Put your items inside. Seal the lid. Make sure there are no gaps for the energy to get in. Building and using these correctly is what separates the casual prepper from the real survivor. Quick gut check. If this list has opened your eyes, imagine what else you don't know yet. Preparedness is the antidote to fear. Acquiring these tools and learning the skills to use them puts the power of survival directly into your hands. The world may go dark, but you can be a source of light. Your turn. What EMP-proof gear do you swear by? Drop your must-haves in the comments. Let's build a survival playbook together. Stay prepared. Stay safe.